You ready? Good morning. I'm Jim Spencer. I'm with the Bluefield, West Virginia Economic Development Authority, and we continue with one of our hybrid classes. We've got some here this morning in person and some that are participating by Zoom. We'd like to welcome you this morning. Just to give you a little recap of sort of what we do, because I know we've got some new folks with us today. We try to do training and support for entrepreneurs, startup business, and existing business. Our goal is to help you be successful. And a lot of the classes that we offer are based off a survey that we do once a year. So if there's a class that you would like to have that is not being offered, please let us know and we'll try to fill that need. Today, we're talking about community presence, and we've got Miss Katelyn Workman that's going to talk about that. And one thing that I think is very important about that is about 5 years ago, I met the gentleman that has the Harvest Table restaurant over close to Emory and Henry College. And when I heard him speak, he talked about his restaurant, and number one, I couldn't get a lemon at his restaurant because they're not locally grown. It is truly locally sourced restaurant. But he told a little story, and he said all restaurant owners should think about that when people get in the car and they're in their home area and they're going out to eat, they have a short list of 5 to 7 restaurants that is in their sort of their favorite list. And if they go to a certain restaurant, they know what they're already probably going to get there. He said the goal is to be on that short list. You're not going to get them every time, but how you connect. So I think today, learning for businesses, learning how to connect with the community. I think we're all creatures of habit. I like to do business with people that are friendly, or there's a story there or a connection. So I think today talking about connecting your business is important. So, okay. All right. I'll get off of the soapbox and turn it over to Miss Katelyn. Thank you.
Well, I'm Katelyn. I am the owner of. So I was really excited when they asked me to teach this, just because this is like the whole concept that I built my business around. I didn't have a business degree. I went to school to be a teacher, so I had no idea what I was doing. But I was really gifted in connecting with people, and so I realized very quickly that just connecting with people was what was going to grow my business. So these are our goals for today, is that you will gain tools to engage customers on and offline. I'm really going to focus on online, just because that's how I do a lot of my marketing. And I think I'll talk about both, but it's going to be a lot of based on online things. Yeah. Is that better? Okay, sorry. I said I'm a little bit technologically not savvy, so and learn ways to build a sense of community within your brand or within your business, and learn practical strategies to implement into your own business. So I'm hoping that after today, you guys will kind of see what I do in my business, and you'll be given practical things to go do today. So I am going to give you a little bit of homework, and I'm going to make you guys talk a little bit, so prepare for that. But yeah, we'll get started. So community marketing is just creating a personal connection. So everything that I do within my business, my name is Katelyn Workman Photography. So when Heather's at the grocery store and her friend says, oh, I need a photographer, then she just says, call Katelyn Workman. Then they immediately know who I am, and they don't have to remember when she snaps a picture.com or whatever, you know. So I am marketing myself. I am my brand, basically. So that's what community marketing is. It's giving people connection that they crave. I think this is really especially important. Sorry, I know I'm talking fast. I have a lot to get through, and I get excited and start going fast. My brain works like a lot faster than most people's, but especially this year, after everything being shut down for a year, people crave people. They crave that connection. And using online is great, especially right now when people haven't been able to get out and they're using things like Zoom and using things like Facebook and Instagram and all of that. You can give people that community that they're missing with your business. Which this book, write this book down, write it down now. It's called Tribes by Seth Godin. And it talks about this, like he lays it out really clearly, a lot better than I can in 45 minutes. So if you want to continue learning, look this book up. But he talks about that, giving the connection that people crave. Everybody wants to be a part of something. They want to be a part of something bigger. And you want your business to be that for them, to be something bigger than just like a swipe, a transaction. Okay, I'm going to show this video. Hopefully it will work. We made this video, I guess almost a year ago, and it's just kind of an introduction. So as soon as someone fills out an inquiry on my website, it will take them to this link, and it helps them get to know us, hopefully so that they can connect with us personally instead of just lining up my prices along with everybody else's. So it also helps you guys get to know us, and you can see my kids that are really cute. Is there something I need to do for sound? Okay. Click pause screen, not pause video, sorry. Adopted our daughter Sonia, who we started fostering a year after we got married, and we just had a sweet baby boy named Sawyer. My favorite thing about my job is definitely the relationships that we build with our couples. When I first started doing wedding photography, I wanted to think about what was missing here and what we would have really wanted if we were to get married and have our photographs done again, because I really wanted to give my couples everything that we would have wanted to give them a perfect experience and not just beautiful photos. Being a Katelyn Workman couple is so much more about having a unique quality experience from beginning to end. I don't ever want to just show up and take your pictures and then leave. I want to get to know you as a couple. It's about building a genuine relationship, building trust, and us serving you in every way that we can. I am with my brides every step of the way. I'll work with your planner to put together a custom timeline to make sure we are taking pictures when the light is pretty. I will make sure there is plenty of time for you to just relax and enjoy your day, but also make sure you get the most portraits possible with the best light. I am also going to plan an engagement session with you so that you can get to know Will and I before all the craziness of the wedding day. I hang out with the girls before your makeup is even done. I'll be there with you when you put on your dress. I'll be there throughout the entire wedding day. So I will make you laugh for portraits. I'll help with the buttons and bustles and bring snacks and water and whatever you need. Will be making jokes with the guys to make them feel comfortable. He's carried bouquets, he pins boutonnieres, he's carried dogs and flowers. We really just work together to make sure that the entire wedding day you are both really taken care of. We started a yearly KWP couples reunion so that we can catch up with our couples that we form such good relationships. So that way we can catch up with you over the years and meet your kids and you can meet our kids. It's not just a transaction that finishes at the end of the wedding day. If you want to invest in a complete experience where you are served 100% on your wedding day and you don't have to stress about anything and really feel loved and taken care of and become a part of our family, that is what the Katelyn Workman wedding experience is all about. That's us. That's what we do. Hopefully that shows you that this idea works, because it tells you exactly what we're talking about today. Let me see if I can figure out. Is that right? Okay. Okay. Which Rodney and Becca Casey made that video. So if you ever need a video, they did a really good job for us. So I kind of already talked about this, but just why I do this. It's just because people spend money on things that matter. We have a luxury experience. People pay a lot of money to have us. And I don't mean to say that to sound prideful. I'm very humbled anytime someone chooses us, but they're not just paying because I have an expensive camera or because I take good pictures. None of that video was about the pictures that we take. It's all about connecting with me. They want to be a Katelyn Workman bride. They want the Katelyn Workman photography experience. They want to be a part of that matters. And if they want to be a part of something that matters, then they tell their friends, and then their friends want to be a part of something matters. And it just becomes so much more meaningful than just swipe your card and take your pictures and leave. So this is where you guys are going to have a little homework. I think the best way to start learning how to market yourself and market a community, create a community presence, is to just think about who you are. So it's good to have 3 to 5 things that you want to share about consistently, that you show up and share about consistently. They can be dumb things, like on here is Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A. Like at least once a week I'm at Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A doesn't have anything to do with photography. It's not like we buy our couples Chick-fil-A, has nothing to do with our business. But I want Faith to go to Chick-fil-A next week, and when she's eating her chicken nuggets to think, oh, Katelyn loves chicken nuggets, right? So I'm staying top of mind. Jenna Kutcher is like, she calls herself a social media guru, marketing guru. She loves mac and cheese. I've never met her, but I think about her when I eat mac and cheese, because in her podcast spiel, she says, I love mac and cheese, right? Has nothing to do with what she does, but it's creating that connection point, right? I love coffee. I do not go anywhere without it. So when Heather's at the coffee shop, I want her to think, oh, Katelyn would like this coffee shop, right? And you're staying top of mind. So for me, those are 2 things I share about. I share my Chick-fil-A. Well, it was in my video. I shared coffee. I share my husband, Will. I call him Willie because I've known him forever. I try to call him Will when I'm introducing him to grown-ups, but he does it with me on wedding days. So I share a lot about our relationship. I share anytime we go on a date night. You see that on social media. Does that have anything to do with photography? No, but it's creating that personal connection. And also for us, we want to invest in our couples and show them what a healthy marriage looks like. So that's another reason we share things like that. He hates being on my Insta stories, but anytime that I put him on my stories, I get so many comments because they think he's hilarious. So for me, I share about Chick-fil-A, I share about coffee, I share about my relationship, and I share about my kids. My baby Sawyer just turned 1. My daughter Sonia is 9. And so I share a lot about them. I'll share a story in a minute about how I know that this works and is effective, but share a lot about them. I also share a lot about fostering. That's my 5th. That's partly just because I think God has given me the platform of photography to share other things that we're passionate about. And one of our couples last year started fostering, and we have a lot of friends that have started. So we're just really passionate about that. But that creates a connection point too. A lot of people know we have fostered and we've adopted our daughter. They know her story. And once again, that's just building that connection and building that community, because then when we have couples that start to foster, then, we have that continued relationship with them. Even though that has nothing to do with photography, it's still continuing to grow my business. So I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes, and I want you to think about either your business or your business that you're wanting to grow, and think about 3 things that can be your connection points. So it could be your family, it could be your dog. I have a friend who doesn't have kids yet. She shares about her dog Cubby on her Insta stories all the time. People love her dog Cubby. I know her dog's name just because she shares them on Instagram. It could be that you're something that you really enjoy, a hobby that you enjoy. It could be your favorite restaurant. Yeah, just think of 3 things that could be connection points to connect with other people. Maybe. Oh, yeah. If you're on Zoom, do this at home. And I may ask a few of you guys to share if you feel comfortable. So if you want to share in the chat box, you can. Sorry, I forget that you guys are here. I'm glad you're here. Okay. You can be looking at my slide. Let's take a note. All right, if you guys want to keep thinking of those, you can. Is there anybody that feels comfortable sharing? Do you feel comfortable sharing? Yes, what's your name? Patricia, nice to meet you. Do you have a business or are you hoping to have a business? Okay. Oh, awesome.
So my way of connecting would be like really singing concerts because I do outdoor things in the summertime, you know, singing in the parks and things like that. So, and I meet a lot of people that way for sure. And then also through my church and then other churches in like see because I'm a minister.
Okay, cool.
So I meet a lot of people through that.
Yeah.
That as well. Then also I bring in bus trips for my seniors, the widows, and just like single parents that might not be able to travel because maybe their spouse has passed away, you know, or they like by themselves. So I plan bus Christian trips about 4 times a year and take their own buses.
Oh, cool.
So when I meet a lot of people,
Yeah.
that way, and I'm still meeting people. I got a trip coming up next month. My first trip is anything last year due to COVID. We'll have these trips planned this year. So I'm taking you to the Woodland House next month.
Oh, cool.
You know, and they, so I have about 35 people that signed up already.
Wow.
You know, and then in August, I'm taking them to Candy Griffin.
Oh.
And they live in that area all day. And then in September, we want to site in San Diego and then Castle, Pennsylvania to see Queen Esther, the live play of Queen Esther. And I got restaurants already booked, and my book numbers, I got the hotel already booked, and I had the hotel booked for 2019.
Oh, gotcha.
So, and we got I really had my tickets since 2019, so I just delayed the date.
Right.
So hopefully, if things stay well, but I have these people that come from over and travel every trip, and I meet wonderful people, and not just seniors, but even like single parents and stuff like that. You might not travel, have a travel partner, you know, and want to go somewhere. You know, they're welcome to go. So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
and then I get most of all, I get to share about Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You know, get to meet them and see what they are and just offer love to everyone.
So you're creating those connections all the time. Yeah. Is it? Okay. Okay. What's your name? Felicity. Nice to meet you. What do you do?
I own lodging for a rider.
Oh, cool.
Last week.
Okay.
And I'm not originally from here. I'm from Bluefield, North Carolina, which is a small town. That's one of my things that moving here feels like small towns. And being part of the community is something that's important to me. And one of the things on my list of 3 is like the family experience, family vacations. I got into what I'm doing because I've been here on vacation. So
Yeah, that's a perfect connection point because you can easily share that with people and say, I wanted to do this because I loved this experience, right? And that's making it so much more personal if you share your family stories and all of
I
that.
hadn't really
Yeah.
thought about things like myself.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's hard, but I think it's so much easier because it's so much easier. Like if you see somebody at the grocery, what's your kids' names? Do you have kids? Jacob and Emily. Okay, it's really easy for you to say, oh, when Jacob was little, we did this, or Emily did this, right? It's so much easier to do that than to walk up and say, oh, I own a business, you should come visit, right? So just incorporating that into your like elevator pitch, you know, that really helps. Okay.
So of course our adventures together would be first, followed by my love, all caps, of Mexican cuisine.
Yeah.
And my plan and breakfast photography. And then came the share. Her and her fiance, her golden retriever fella, who we go along with, home goods and home decor, coffee, Disney, she's passionate about the environment and wildlife.
Yeah, those are all perfect. Another thing that this will do, I have a friend who's really passionate about Disney. They have season passes, they go all the time. She shares about Disney all the time, and she will have people get her gifts, buy her gifts that are Disney related things, right? So they were thinking of her so much that when they were at the store and they saw whatever, a Minnie Mouse mug, that they bought that for her, right? So you're just keeping that constant connection, right? Yeah, those are really good examples. We're gonna keep going, but if we have time at the end, we can have more of you guys share and introduce yourself. Because I have a lot of stuff to share. So examples of how I do this. I don't want you guys to write this yet. I'll give you a second to write it, but I just want to share this real quick and then we'll get into it. But Facebook is a huge resource. Is there anybody who's not just taking a picture of me with my hands like this? Is there anybody who's not on Facebook? Okay, Facebook is great, especially I think in our small town. I think that we love it here. I think we're kind of behind the times a little bit. And so while some people in other cities and bigger cities are moving on to more of Instagram and TikTok, people here are on Facebook. Everybody here is on Facebook. So it's a really good resource. So some things that I do, this is just a personal preference. You don't have to do this. I have a lot of friends who don't do this, but I use my my personal page for marketing. Facebook has changed the algorithms, and I don't know any of the like technical stuff about that, but I do know that if you post stuff on your professional page, they don't want people to see it unless you're paying for ads. So it's really hard to get that stuff out there. It's a lot easier for me to get people to see my stuff if I share it on my personal page. So I do. I have a lot of people that add me on Facebook as soon as they get engaged. Yes.
Are you posting on your business page and then sharing it to your personal page?
No. Yeah. So this is just what I started recently. I was putting so much time into my business Facebook page, which I think you can use your business Facebook page. I'm not saying you can't do that, but a lot of times, sometimes I will post it on my professional and share it. A lot of times I will just post it separately. So like if I have sneak peeks, I might post them on my business page and my personal page. I also have Instagram linked, which I'll talk about Instagram in a minute, but everything that I share on my Instagram automatically posts on my business page on Facebook. Does that make sense? So a lot of the stuff you see on my business Facebook page has just gone from Instagram, which if you don't know how to do that, I'd be happy to show you how to do that afterwards to set that up. But yeah, so on my personal Facebook page, like you search Katelyn Elizabeth Workman, I have pictures of my kids, and some people don't like that, but that's how I run my business. But I share a lot of stuff. I have a personal blog. That's what I started when I very first started my business. And on that blog, I shared our fostering journey. You can see pictures of when we adopted our daughter. You can see I've written posts about homeschooling. I write posts about our family vacation, all kinds of different things, which you can see. I think I have it. Will this work if I click it? I forgot I put it on here. Okay. So you go to my website and you can look at my blog. You can go to the personal section and you can see all kinds of stuff. This was our family vacation at the beginning of the year in Florida. Oops. So you can see this was their first plane ride, which they loved. And you can see us walking on the beach. These are iPhone photos. So does this have anything to do with wedding photography? No, but it creates that connection point, right? People love to see a family on vacation. They love to connect with that, right? So I share things like that just because So I share things like that just to connect with people. I have people who have read my blog for years and can tell me things from the very beginning of my story, which I love blogging. It's kind of an outlet for me anyways. But so I will share that link on my personal Facebook page so people can get to my website that way. That's how that's connected to Facebook. I also share a lot of selfies. Faith knew that I was in Harrisonburg yesterday doing an engagement session because I shared a selfie with our couple, right? I also tagged the location. There's all kinds of stuff that I did with that too, but I shared a selfie with my couple. That's making it so much more personal than if I just shared a picture that I took of them on my business page, right? I haven't even shared their sneak peeks because I didn't get home till midnight to edit, but I shared that selfie, create that connection point. I also have people like brides' moms that will add me on Facebook, and then they see that picture and they love it. One of our brides last year, she's become a really good friend. And after their session, I posted a picture that my husband had taken on his phone of me taking a picture of them. She loved that. She made that her cover photo on Facebook, a picture of me taking a picture of them, you know? So it's just creating that personal connection. I'm still friends with her mom. Her mom tags me and stuff and comments on my stuff all the time. Bride Tribe, this is my community, right? As soon as they become a Katelyn Workman bride, they become a part of this KWP Bride Tribe, right? So I add them to our Facebook group. Facebook groups are really good also because people see your stuff a lot more in a group than they do on a page. If you guys have questions at any point, I know this is a lot of information, so please stop me if I'm just throwing too much at you. But I have that Facebook group. I can show you what that looks like. Maybe. Oh, I can't show you what this looks like because this is logged into somebody else's. Is this logged into yours? Yeah, so she can't see it because she's not a part of the KWP Bride Tribe. But you can see on my Facebook, that's our engagement session yesterday, right? It's not a professional picture. It's just a selfie with them showing that we're friends, right? That's our realtor. We took his pictures at his wedding too. Anyway, so you can create groups with people just to have them share stories. You could create a group of people who have come to visit if they want to, and they can share different places that they visited, and they can share restaurants that they ate at and different things like that. And you can make it like an exclusive group that you can't stay there until you've booked. You could do the same thing for people that have heard you sing. You could make a group and they can share stories and different things like that. I don't do a whole lot with my group. I usually will add the bride, say, congratulations, this person's a part of our group, and people like it. And then if they have questions like, oh, which florist did you guys like? They can post that in the group and have other brides comment. So they're hearing it from people who just wedding planned, right? I've had some that say, you know, what advice do you guys have while planning? And they can share that in the group. So it's just a little more personal. I also share their official booking on Facebook. So as soon as they book, as soon as they pay their deposit, I share September 20th is now officially booked. They're a part of the Bride Tribe, or they're a KWP bride. And then they share that and they're so excited to see their name, right? I had one that booked 6 months before she was engaged because she knew that she wanted to save her date and she knew that it was coming. And so I couldn't share it. And as soon as she got engaged, she FaceTimed me to tell me the story. And then she said, you can share it, that it's official. So that's like such a silly thing, but that was so excited to share that she was officially booked. Also engage in posts. So there are a lot of people who think I'm going to post on my business Facebook page, right? I post on my Facebook page, I'm done for the day, right? I post on Instagram, I'm done. But you have to constantly be engaging with people, right? If you are at the grocery store, you're not just going to say, I'm a photographer, I'm a photographer, I'm a photographer, and keep walking and not hear anything that they have to say, right? So I'm not just going to post, I'm a photographer, and then when people are saying, oh, hi, just ignore them, right? It's the same thing as an in-person social interaction. So you want to constantly be commenting on people's stuff. You can also just like stay in touch with people that way, so you're staying fresh of mind. If I have a bride and then a bridesmaid that adds me on Facebook, I like that bridesmaid's pictures. I comment on that pictures. When she gets a boyfriend, I say, you guys are so cute, right? And then she calls me when she gets engaged, because you're continuing that personal relationship. I had one, I'll tell you the story of how I booked her, that girl in the video. She's now my hairdresser. I took her family pictures with her dog at Christmas, all because I saw that she was engaged on Facebook. I added her. I started commenting on that picture, commenting on her pictures. I didn't message her a cold message and say, oh, I see you're engaged. I'm a photographer. Here's my prices, right? I just created that relationship with her, and then she booked. So you can engage with potential customers that way. If you see someone that looks like they're interested, comment on their pictures. If you have families that you already know that are on your Facebook that you think it's vacation time, right? Just comment on their pictures. Oh, that looks like a fun family vacation. Oh, you guys look like a lot of fun together, things like that. And make it genuine, I'm not going to comment on every one of Savannah's pictures and be like, cute, heart. Well, maybe I do, because her and DeMarcus are really cute. So I do genuinely mean that if I say that. But you don't want to just comment one word to just be commenting, right? Instagram's rules used to be that you're supposed to use 4 words or more. I don't know if it's still like that. It was to keep bots from just saying whatever. I don't know. You can't keep up with what their algorithms are. But just make it like genuine comments, genuine connecting. And you guys are on Facebook anyways. You're always, I assume, I'm always scrolling. So it's really easy to just like and comment things when I see them. Oh gosh, I'm gonna start flying because we're running out of time. I also share reviews. So if a bride gets on, she shares, we love Katelyn, this is what they did. I share that, right? Usually I'll share the review with a picture of them. So it's making it more personal. That's something else I do on Facebook. Yeah, just create those connections with people. Everything that you do on Facebook, you can also do on Instagram, obviously. I use Instagram a lot. I share personal stories. One thing that I do a lot that I really believe in is Instagram stories. When I first started doing videos on Instagram stories, I was like sweating. I did my makeup before. I had to do it like 10 times to video myself saying, hi, I'm Katelyn. Like I was so nervous. And now I get on all the time. And I might just get on to say like, Sonia didn't clean her room this week or whatever. But it's just showing my face, and it's more of a relaxed thing because Insta stories only last, I think, 24 hours. So I can get on there without my makeup done and it's not perfect and it's fine because it disappears, A good example of this working is that, and I told Sonia I was going to tell this story, she told me not to, but we had a lot of behavior problems with my daughter in the beginning. And there was once that she would not clean her room. So I got on stories and I'm like, who has advice for how to get your kids a clean room, right? And every time someone shared that, I would say, well, this didn't work. Well, we found out that the reason she wasn't cleaning was because she had pooped in a trash can in her closet. That's why she wouldn't clean, because she didn't want us to find her. She was like 5 at the time, but I was like appalled. And I'm like, I have to tell Instagram because they followed this whole journey, right? And so I told them that. People thought it was hilarious. And then a bride, like 6 months later on her wedding day, said, we had a group chat, all of our friends, all the bridal party, talking about Sonia cleaning her room and when that happened. Like that has nothing to do with photography, but that created that connection because it was a funny story and that led to the connection with her. She was a bride that there was no reason for me to have a connection with her. She went to school with my husband. We were never really friends. And, but we stayed connected on social media. She lives in Chesapeake. And so they paid us to travel 6 or 7 hours for their wedding because I kept that connection. This is a whole list of other things you can do on Instagram. You can make reels, which maybe I'll come back and talk about reels sometime. Savannah had asked me to talk about making reels, but personal posts, when you go to my Instagram, you can see that I share selfies. We went to the movies on Friday. I shared a selfie on my grid. It's not perfect, but it's creating that personal connection. I don't know how many times I can say creating that personal connection, but another really good thing you can do is question boxes and polls on your story. This just gets people to engage with you so they feel like their opinion matters. I could say something dumb like, should we eat Mexican or Chinese tonight, and have people vote on that so they feel like they're connecting. Or I could share, do you guys like this black and white or this color better? The more that people engage with your stuff, the more that they're going to see it. So that's just another way that you can get people to do that. A couple other things that you can do. I talked about engaging with others. Same thing on Instagram. Comment on their pictures, like their stuff, reshare their stuff in your stories, and seek out customers. If you know your target market is women who don't have their husbands anymore, that's your target market, seek them out on Instagram. Find what they're doing. Find how to connect with them, right? If I know that people get engaged at the Greenbrier, then I'm going to tag the Greenbrier, and I'm going to go to hashtags for the Greenbrier and look and see who just got engaged and add them as a friend and like their pictures. Sounds creepy, but it's the world we live in. It works. It works for marketing. But yeah, so just seek out customers and offer them value. So I'm not going to message the girl who just got engaged and say, I'm a photographer, hire me. But I might say, we've worked with a lot of wedding vendors. If you need any help finding vendors, let me know. Or here's a blog post I wrote sharing venues in the area. If you want to see that, you're offering them value. You're not going to say, hey, you should come book my place. But you could say, we have a lot of people traveling that like to eat at this restaurant, so you guys might like to eat there, right? Just offer value instead of trying to push sales down their face, if that makes sense. I'm not going to show you my Instagram if you guys want to look at that later. So this is my whole experience. I'll just fly through this real quick and then I'll give you time for questions. So as soon as they inquire, I add them as a friend. I start engaging in their posts. We plan an engagement session with them, so we get to connect with them beforehand. So I'm connecting with them. I'm planning the engagement session. And I'm not saying you guys have to do these things. I know these are not applicable. This is just exactly what I do. So it kind of gives you a better example. Then I will post on their anniversary, or I'll wish them happy anniversary, share selfies. I send a gift box to them at booking. There's no reason why I have to do that, but they love getting that box. They share it on their stories. They tell their friends about that little gift that I sent them. And then this, I'm going to talk about this one more thing real quick, is a KWP reunion. When I told my dad I was doing this, he said I was crazy because we started this last year. I'm not sure if we're going to get to do it this year because a lot of our couples are pregnant and due in the fall, which just happens a year after they get married. But so we have a reunion at our house where we had a cookout. We invited them into our home. We had people travel in. That couple from Chesapeake traveled in to just come and eat burgers at our house. They don't know each other. They weren't at each other's weddings. Some of them have connections. So that's crazy for me to be their photographer and just to invite them to my house, but they love that experience. And that's creating that community with other brides, right? They get to meet the other brides and see what, you know, they may have shared vendors, or they can share their stories from their wedding. So that's a really cool thing that we do that is weird and crazy, but we love it. And just creating connections with families and with vendors. This is another thing that we do in person. So when we're on wedding days, we're serving those vendors, right? I take pictures of the other people that we see there, the DJ. I took pictures of the DJ at the last wedding and the videographer behind the scenes pictures. I send those galleries to the cake baker, to the videographer, to everyone that we've worked with. They're not paying me for those files. Those files are worth money, but I'm serving them. I'm creating that connection with them too. So I know that I didn't talk a lot about in person, but it's all kind of the same thing, right? You're always connecting with people. You're always creating that sense of community everywhere that you go, and just serving people. I know that that was a lot and I went really fast, but I want to give you guys a few minutes if you have any questions or anything that you guys want to share. Is your brain exploding right now? If you didn't write anything else down, make sure you write this down. Tribes by Seth Godin. It's like just little snippets. Like it's not big chapters, like it's a little section. So it's really easy to read. It's really easy to go back and read. It's a lot of good like one-liners that are just really applicable to this whole community mindset. I did share some other things on here, just tools that you can use. Canva is one if you're not using it. I know they use it all the time. It's really good if you want to create like graphics. You can create, that's how I created my logo. So you can create things for your stories on there. If you want to do a poll, you can easily do that in Canva and it's free. So it's a really good resource. InShot is another app. If you're wanting to do video at all or doing reels at all, write that down. It's free. That's how I do all my reels. It's really user-friendly and easy if you don't know how to do stuff like that. So Jasmine Starr and Jenna Kutcher are two other people you might want to write down who talk a lot about this. They're like really social media gurus, and they just share a lot of free stuff. So Jenna Kutcher has a podcast, and their stuff is not necessarily community mindset, but they should just share a lot of good stuff about marketing. So they're really good to follow. That's that book I told you to write down. Unfold is another app that's free. It's good for creating graphics like with pictures. So like on my stories, I might share 2 pictures and then the couple's name on top with like a pretty white background, and I create that using Unfold. You can pay for other fancy stuff on there, but this is a QR code that you guys can scan, right?
Yeah, you hold your phone camera up to it, and it should pop up. If it doesn't, you just take, they have to be out a little bit. They can see the full, QR code doesn't work for you.
Oops. Sorry. Okay.
And you want to tell folks that the link to the survey will be provided afterwards with the link to your class.
Okay, so Savannah said this link will be sent to your email afterwards if you want to look at that link, and you can fill out a survey for them. You have all their emails. Can I send you this slides, notes? Okay, I'll send Savannah notes. So if you, because I know I went through a lot. So if you guys want the notes, I'll have her email that to you too. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of different articles. Savannah told me that she did your issue right.
Yeah, I was going to use him as an example and I forgot.
But my question is a little different. You have, it's just 2 of you, siblings?
No, I have a sister who's in the Navy.
Okay. So 2 of the 3 children ended up being entrepreneurs. Was there anything that guided you as a child, or your parents, or whatever, that you think that impacted you and CJ to both decide to start businesses?
Can you recap what he's asking people to hear his question?
Okay, my brother just started a business. He owns Drake's Place, which is right down the road. Really great cheeseburgers. So he was asking if our family did anything when raising us to encourage that. I don't necessarily know that there was anything as a child that encouraged my brother, but my dad is Jim Drake. A lot of people know him. He's very encouraging and very supportive of local businesses. So I think maybe that has helped. And I mean, my mom always supported whatever I wanted to do. Like when I was in high school, I started making jewelry, and she like helped me buy the stuff at Hobby Lobby to make jewelry to sell in high school. And then for a while, I wanted to make tutu dresses, and she helped me get the stuff to sell those. So I think just like encouraging whatever we were interested in. And then just as adults, they're still really supportive and really encouraging. So I don't know that it was necessarily anything in parenting. And like my dad's not an entrepreneur, my mom's not an entrepreneur, but I think just supporting us in whatever we were interested in.
And the reason I ask that is believe in dollars in education. I think that there needs to be an entrepreneur component of education.
Yeah.
And to expose young people into opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people think they have to have some big idea to start a business, but it can be something as simple as your passion and your hobby.
Right.
And that's the reason I ask that, because there needs to be, our younger generation needs to start thinking about opportunities. Be self-sufficient, and then you can control your own debt.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to work tomorrow, then that's up to you, or how hard you work, or how little you work.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason I asked the question. That's kind of a loaded question, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was going to use him. If you want to look up his restaurant, he was a good example too, because they're a family-owned local business, and so he shares like pictures of his son. My nephew is so cute, and he'll share pictures and videos of him, and it makes you want to go buy his burgers because you want to support his family. So they do a good job of that too. Okay.
Please let your brother know if you
Oh. Yeah, they have really good fried pickles.
mentioned Katelyn, great job. It's very obvious that you're dedicated to passion about your business. Your personal post will make a big difference in today's community. I'm sure that is why you're doing so well.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for coming today. Like I said, I used to be a teacher, so I love this, and I'm very passionate about this, and I want to see businesses do well. And so hopefully this is applicable. Yeah. Thanks for asking me.